Oh, it's the big going home day.
Yeah, I'm going somewhere, anyway.
Is something wrong?
Well, there's no reason not to tell you. You can find out sooner or later. Pat and I are splitting up, getting a divorce.
Oh, Paul. I'm sorry. Is it definite?
Yeah, well, the marriage has been a farce ever since I came back. I mean, you know that. Everyone knows that.
Well, that may have been true at the beginning, but I thought you and Pat were getting closer. I thought your love was getting stronger.
Yeah, she loves me in a way, I guess, but, I don't know. Maybe once more than she once did, but,
Well, is it really definite? There's no chance?
Well, there's an outside chance, but, I mean, what good is that? In many ways, we're closer than we ever were, but in some important ways, we still miss.
Sorry, Paul.
Yeah. Of course, Pat and I will always be close friends, but I think we both agreed it was the best thing to do.
Sounds like you've probably done a lot of soul searching recently.
Yeah. Well, I think it's the right decision right now. So, how are things with you and Karen?
Oh, listen, pretty good. Matter of fact, it couldn't be better. We were going to take a vacation, but then decided to wait until Danny gets out of camp at the end of summer so he can come along with us. Look, don't be a stranger.
I wouldn't think of it.
You got any concrete plans? Where you're going to live, that kind of stuff?
No, but it really doesn't matter, I mean, I feel like I'm starting a whole new life again, and I sort of like the idea that I don't know what's in store for me.
Well, Mrs. Benson, you really have your work cut out for you today. This place is a mess. Now, don't you worry about it. You've had so much on your mind with all that's happening to Mr. Kendall. I want you to know that my family was praying for him the whole time. Well, with the way things turned out, I guess all our prayers were answered. Oh, I just love happy endings. And you and your husband have the happiest possible ending now. He's coming home from the hospital today, and now you two can get on with your lives together. Well, I better get to work on the house. You get here?
I never left last night, Edwina. I stayed.
Why? What happened? Did Richard get worse? You and your husband must have big plans for tonight, don't you, Mrs. Kendall? You going to go out and celebrate, or you're just going to spend a quiet evening together?
We really haven't decided yet, Mrs. Benson.
Do you have a homecoming present for him?
No, actually, I asked another time to get it.
Well, I'm sure he won't mind. He's probably like my husband, doesn't care a thing about gifts. If he can just come home and find me there, he's happy.
It's nice that you have that kind of marriage.
Isn't it, though? I tell you, Mrs. Kendall, we are two very lucky women. I have so many friends who are unhappy or divorced or about to be divorced. Of course, you haven't been married as long as I have, but you will be, I'm sure. I can always tell. I clean houses for couples who are just going through the motions, just pretending. And they think nobody knows, but I know. I guess it's because I'm so happy myself. But I don't know if I could go through what you have, though. All those days and nights of wondering and worrying about Mr. Kendall. From what the newspaper said, you never knew if he'd live until they caught those terrorists. Is that right?
Yes, that's right.
Well, Now that he's going to live a long time and everything's going to be all right, I'm going to tell you that I was real worried about you. I just couldn't imagine what you'd do if you didn't have your little boy or your husband. I don't know how a person could take so much emptiness all of a sudden. But thank heavens that didn't happen. You've still got your husband, and I know what a happy couple you are.
Do you have any plans for the future, Paul?
Well, none right now. You know, even though a part of me is sad that Pat and I couldn't work this thing out, I think I'm through mourning over the things I've lost. Brian, Pat. It's just been too much time spent on grief and regret, Larry.
I know, I've always had the feeling you're one of those guys that takes things pretty seriously.
Yeah, I guess I do. Work, relationships, commitments, all very serious. But I think a lot of that is behind me now. I'm going to try to relax a little more and have some fun. I'd like to do that.
Well, good. I think you certainly deserve it. Spend enough time in the service of others. It's about time you had some fun for yourself.
That's exactly the way I feel, Larry.
I can understand that because sometimes I feel that I'm kind of too serious myself.
Too kind, huh?
Yeah, well, I guess I'll keep an eye on you, pick up some pointers. You know, next time I feel like breaking out.
Yeah, you do that. But I want to warn you right now. I might shock you. Matter of fact, I might shock a lot of people.
I didn't hear anything, good or bad.
Oh, I thought since you'd stayed all night that something must have happened.
I just couldn't leave Richard, so I slept out here in the waiting room for a couple hours. Oh, the doctor's in there now. Maybe we'll hear something else.
I don't see how you could have slept even a few hours. I certainly didn't sleep.
Yeah, well, it didn't do very much good. I kept having these awful nightmares about Richard.
Yeah, well, I think you would, since you're the one responsible for what's happened.
I know.
How could you have done this to him? First you break his heart, then you put his life in danger. All the while you're supposed to be in love with him.
I am in love with him.
Don't give me that. Why should I believe you?
Because it's true. Why do you think I stayed here all night?
Because you felt guilty, that's why.
It's more than that, Edwina. I swear it is.
Swearing it won't make it any more believable. You've lied ever since you've come to Landview. Cute little country girl who could barely read or write or talk. But boy, did you have charm. And everybody fell for it. You were so refreshing, so different. What a shock to find that it was just a facade. And what a shock for Richard to find out that beneath that sweet, innocent little girl was a deceitful, conniving woman who was just using him for a few kicks.
Edwina, I know it seems that way to everybody, but I wasn't using Richard for kicks. I never meant for him to fall in love with me. And I didn't mean to lead him on and make him think I was going to marry him. But
what?
I kept getting trapped. Kept getting pushed into corners I couldn't get out of. Been like that my whole life. I mean, I try to do one thing, then I end up doing something else. Something I don't even want to or mean to.
Does it always end so tragically?
Sometimes.
Becky, tell me something. How could you have ever married Luke Jackson?
It's a long story, Edwina. You wouldn't understand.
No, I'm sure I wouldn't. Don't you think it's about time that you went back where you belonged? Got out of Landview and took that husband with you?
Luke's in jail, Edwina, and I hope he stays there.
Well, for Richard's sake, I hope so, too. Dr. Manos.
I'm afraid I haven't much to tell you, ladies.
He's still the same?
Well, he's holding his own.
Has he regained consciousness?
Just a few moments ago, yes.
Oh, can I go in and see him?
No.
Well, just for a minute, Doctor.
Look, I want to keep him as quiet as possible. He's extremely weak.
Well, maybe later, then.
No visitors today, not at all. Now, why don't the two of you just go about your business? You've got no reason to be here. Excuse me.
Doing? No, you can't get up. Please, don't get up.
I gotta see Mr. Reilly.
Don't get up.
Get Joe Reilly for me. Mr. Reilly.
Hi,
but I thought it was the nurse bringing me in those forms I have to sign to get out of this place.
I understand.
Well, what are you doing here, anyway?
Didn't you hear about Richard?
Well, no. What happened?
Becky's husband beat him up.
What? When?
Yesterday. Luke Jackson went to Richard's apartment and they had a big fight.
Well, how serious is he?
He's critical, but stable.
I don't know. I just don't understand why people can't talk things out, you know? Well, how's Becky? Is she holding up okay?
Why do you ask me how Becky is? If it weren't for Becky and her husband, Richard wouldn't even be here.
Well, I know, but I mean, Becky's in love with Richard and...
I love him too. Why don't you ask me how I'm holding up?
Wait, I'm sorry.
I just thought you would understand. But no, your first thought was for Becky too.
Forgive me, Edwina, but I never got the feeling that your feelings for Richard were any more than skin deep.
Well, thank you. I thought you were my friend. It's me, isn't it? This personality that I wear for the world is all the world ever believes.
Well, you're always so cool and collected.
Oh, and efficient and businesslike and competitive and aggressive. And I couldn't possibly have a deep feeling or needs, could I?
Well, I mean, that's the impression you give. I'm sorry that after all this time I haven't seen through that.
No, it's just back to my fault. You know why it's ironic, Paul? It's that I spent a long time and I worked very hard at perfecting that image. I really worked at submerging all my insecurities and sensitivity so I could be a success in the business world. I learned how to compete without letting other people know that I was afraid. I learned to lose without falling apart so that I could go on. And I learned to make people think that I didn't care when all the time I was really hurt inside. And I learned all those things for a reason.
Maybe you went too far, huh?
You know what happened last night? I wanted to stay here in the hospital in case Richard's condition changed.
Well, and why didn't you?
Because I was afraid it would look silly or inappropriate or that I wouldn't look good in the morning. Pretty stupid, huh? So I went home and called the hospital every hour to see how he was.
Mm-hmm.
But Becky, she didn't care at all about what it would look like. She didn't even worry about it being inappropriate, that it was her husband who beat Richard up. She stayed.
Well, Becky never has cared very much for what other people say.
You know, I hate her for that. I hate her for a lot of reasons. But I really hate her for her ability not to care about what other people are going to think.
You're probably jealous of it, too, you know.
No. I may be a little jealous of Richard's way of not being concerned. I mean, look at him. He's so attractive, talented. His family has so much money. He doesn't care at all that people value those things. He just... Oh, Richard. If you don't get out of this alive, I'm never going to forgive myself.
Nina, what are you talking about? You're certainly not responsible for Becky's husband beating Richard up.
Fantastic. After that, I can contend with anything at the hospital today.
Now I can contend with Landfair.
What? What? Wait a minute. Last night when you called me, before you went to work, you told me that you'd been by to see Dorian, and it had turned into the same bickering.
I know, but I started feeling guilty about it later. I guess I really didn't give her a chance. I went in there with a very defensive attitude. I should say offensive attitude. Anyway, last night she came to Tony's place while I was playing.
That lady just doesn't give up, does she?
No. But this time she really got to me. You know how you're always telling me that underneath all that cattiness and manipulation that there's a very vulnerable person?
Yeah.
Well, I saw it last night. I didn't want to. I mean, I really fought it. But you should have seen her sitting there. all alone, for hours.
It must have affected you. How'd you feel about that?
I really felt sorry for her. You know, with all her money and power and beauty, she's just a lonely, lost little girl.
Tell me, are you sure she wasn't doing all of that just for your benefit?
Well, she might have come there for my benefit. But I don't think that she could have engineered the fact that not one person came over to say hi to her. Or the expression in her eyes.
Okay. Okay, so you felt sorry for her, and you regretted how you acted when you were with her the day before.
Yeah.
But tell me, what do you really hope to accomplish by seeing her today? I mean, are you looking for a real reconciliation? Or is it just going to turn into the same old incident replay?
I don't know. I just want us to get along. I mean, she's my sister, and we're all going to be living here in Lanty together. So I just want us to get along.
Good. So do I. But look, on the other hand, if it doesn't work out... Listen, I was thinking about this after we got off the phone last night, and what's most important to me is us. I mean, I don't want her interfering with us anymore. And if the two of you continue to fight, I mean, if she knowingly continues to upset you, then we have to stay away. I mean, disconnect totally.
Except that I am much better now. She doesn't intimidate me the way that she used to. I'm much better. Not anymore does she do that. Do you think that you'll have all your work done by noon?
Yeah, I think so. I got most of the wiring done already. Shouldn't take too long after that to hide the microphones.
Oh, that's very good. You see, it's very important that I have the conference recorded today. In fact, you might even say that my whole future depends upon it.
Can't you tell me why you sing all those love songs?
Well, if you can stand it, how can I?
Becky, what happened? What's wrong?
Richard, he's in the hospital. An accident? Wasn't any accident. Luke beat him up and tried to kill him. Oh.
Well, it looks like he did a pretty good job on you, too.
I knew it was going to happen if Richard didn't stay away from me. I tried to tell him to stay away.
How badly is he hurt?
It's real serious. Luke beat him up real bad. He's got a concussion and internal injuries. It's a good thing Edwina found him and called up an ambulance.
Becky, who's his doctor?
Dr. Manos.
He's a good doctor. Look, what exactly did he tell you?
He told me that Richard's on the critical list. I gotta believe he's gonna be all right.
Well, what about Luke?
Oh, Luke's so stupid he comes over here looking for me, and the police found him and put him in jail. Who knows for how long?
Come here. Listen, I have to go to the hospital now. But I'm going to make a point of seeing Richard myself, okay?
Thank you.
Yeah.
The only thing I got going for me is the fact that Luke didn't kill Richard. So weird, Lynn. Two men fighting over me. I'm not even worth fighting over.
Well, apparently Richard and Luke feel very differently. They love you a lot.
Oh, Richard loves me a lot. Luke doesn't love me. Just angry and jealous. Took it out on Richard because he couldn't take it out on me that I ran away from him. I mean, there's nothing more important to Luke than his pride. I mean, that's what I hurt when I ran away, not any kind of feelings he has.
Well, why did he go after Richard now?
Because he found out Richard came to see me yesterday. I don't know why I didn't pay any attention to what I knew.
You mean Luke finding you?
Just thought I could stay a couple of steps ahead of him the rest of my life. I wanted to be with Richard so bad. I didn't pay any attention to what my My feelings was telling me. And now, Luke's probably going to get out of jail on bail, and he's going to find out Richard's alive, and he's probably going to try to kill him again.
How's it going?
Hey. Who are you?
Oh, friend of the family.
Who are you, you know about this job?
Oh, yeah, she tells me everything. Hey, listen, you might want to put a microphone underneath the couch there.
Why? Just pick up the sound of walking.
Oh, you don't know too much about what goes on around here, do you? You see, when people come to visit Mrs. Lord, they spend much of their time on the floor, hands and knees, groveling. So that way, if you put a microphone there, you'll pick up...
Marco!
How are you this lovely day, Dorian?
What are you doing here? I mean, how did you get in?
Well, I was hanging out there, and I decided to come in by way of the terrace.
Oh, well, why don't we just go right back out on the terrace and have a nice little chat? Come on, Marco. You know, Marco, I don't really remember inviting you here this afternoon.
Well, perchance it was a dream, my dear.
Oh, well, perchance maybe you just wanted to come around and spy a little.
Now, why would I have to do that? Remember, you asked me to bug this place first. No, Dorian, the reason I'm here is to invite you to lunch.
Oh, well, that's very nice, but I already have plans.
Plans? What kind of plans? Scheming plans or appointment plans?
It's not really any of your business. Now, why would I even want to go to have lunch with you?
Well, you see, I'm going to the restaurant in the art museum because I have a course taking place over there. And
You're
I thought
taking
maybe...
some art classes? Oh, don't tell me. Does this mean that you're planning on stealing some artworks? Or maybe you're going to try and forge some?
Very funny. No, I just think an understanding of the masters is going to add to my overall classness.
Your classness? Well, let me tell you something, Marco. If you stayed in school for the rest of your life, you'd still have the class of an alley cat.
You should talk. Slinking around your home, bugging the place. You've got about as much class as a Watergate parolee.
Oh, let me ask you something, Marco. Now that I'm no longer supporting you, have you met up with some cute little seamstress and she just whips up these darling little outfits?
As a matter of fact, I buy these at your finer men's stores.
Oh, well then what woman is supporting you and paying for all your classes?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Yes, I would like to know. As a matter of fact, I might even hire a detective to find out.
Do I love costing you money? Well, I must go. I'm on my way to stare at Monet. Ciao, ciao.
What's going on, Doctor? It's important for Richard to get as much rest and be still as possible, but we can't make him do that. He keeps asking for you, insisting that we get you.
Case it must be important.
Yeah, something seems to be on his mind. So even though I wasn't going to allow any guests today, I think it would be all right for you to see him for a moment.
Thank you.
But don't take too long.
I won't.
All right.
Sir? Shame about Richard. You know, one day I would like to come to work and not find anybody, any of my friends in this hospital. It's been quite a siege here, hasn't it? You know, Becky's really upset. Sure hope Lynn is able to calm her down. That's right, you guys are about ready to get married, huh? Hopefully. Don't tell me there's a problem. Oh, no, not Dorian. You got it. She has interfered every single step of the way. And I don't know if she's through. I don't know if she's going to be able to stop once we're married. Stay away from her and good riddance. Yeah, well, that's easier said than done, you know. She is Lynn's sister. Well, I gotta have Lynn get rid of her. There's a good thought. Yeah. Hey, I know you don't like Dorian. I don't. It's an understatement. Okay, but look, you do know her. I mean, and you knew Lynn fairly well. But what I'm trying to say is that I'm searching around kind of desperately for another viewpoint, and if you've got any advice, I'm open. Just what I said in the beginning, Peter. Stay away from her. I don't know, I'd make up some rules, first of all, make sure Dorian knows them. Yeah, well, that doesn't mean that she's going to play by those rules. That is true. Good luck. Larry? Thanks a lot.
Mr. Briggs, it's Beth. Yes, that's what I'm calling about. We didn't decide where we were meeting for lunch. why not? I haven't been there for a real long time. Fine, then I will meet you there at about noon, right? Okay. All right, bye-bye. Mrs. Benson? Yes, Mrs. Kendall? I'm going to be leaving now. Oh, is it time to pick up Mr. Kendall? Oh, no, I'm not picking him up. He'll be coming home by cab, but he should be here any minute. And you're not going to be here? Oh, well, I really do have a lot of work that I have to catch up on.
One Life to Live will continue in a moment.
Mr. Riley. Abbott, I don't know about you.
Oh, I have to talk to you.
Oh, I'm here now.
Sure you didn't have a run-in with a truck? Gorilla.
Gorilla?
Oh, yeah. Becky's husband. You know, Abbott, we're going to have to get you some lessons in the manly art of self-defense when we get you out of here.
You're talking funny, too. Still got all your teeth?
I got them all. That's good. Where's Luke?
Luke, they threw him in jail last night, Abbott.
Becky, don't you worry about her. She's fine. Okay, tell me, Abbott. What made this Luke guy want to kill you?
Oh, my head hurts. Mr. Riley, you gotta do something for me. Very important. You gotta do it, nobody else. Mr. Riley.
I'm here, Abbott. All right, you tell me what you want. I'll do everything I possibly can.
Hello, Pat. Mrs. Benson.
Kendall! Oh, it's so good to see you. Oh, me and my family are just so happy that you're alive and well again.
Thank you, Mrs. Benson. Give everyone my best, will you?
I certainly will. Oh. Well, I'm almost done with the bedroom, and then I'll be out of here. I know you two lovebirds don't need a third person around.
Well, I guess we're both feeling a lot of the same things, aren't we? I don't know how to make it easy.
Oh, you've always made it easy for me. I wonder if you'll ever know the depth of my gratitude.
I wonder if you'll ever know the depth of mine. For all the good times. Well, I guess the best thing is for me to pack and get out of here.
You don't have to do that. Why don't you just stay here until you find a place? Somehow the thought of a hotel right now sounds awful.
No, I think it would be best. You know, neutral territory. You know, the one thing we haven't talked about is the divorce.
Yes, I guess we do have to talk about that.
I flew down to the Caribbean once to get one. I guess I can go down there again.
Oh, no, that's impossible. I mean, you just got out of the hospital. You're much too weak.
Yeah, I know, but there's no reason why you should disrupt your life any further. I mean, I've already caused you enough trouble.
Oh, you're being kind and considerate as usual, but this time I'm going to insist, not just because of your condition and the fact that you have to get back to work, but... Well, I'm thinking of myself, too.
Oh, you think the trip might do you some good?
Well, it'll give me a chance to think about where I'm going, my future.
Well, I guess there's not much more to say then, is there? Except that, the more I thought about your offer last night to stay with me as my wife, the more touched I was. Pat, you're wonderful. It's going to be so hard to ever meet anyone like you again.
Well, you just better, otherwise you might have just stayed with me, huh?
Well, hopefully we'll both meet somebody that we can be happy with and, more important, carefree with. And no pain or the past to burden the joy. Well, I guess I better go pack.
pina coladas.
Yeah, well, I don't. It's much too sweet for me.
Uh-oh, I hope this isn't an omen about the rest of the day I have planned for us.
Well, as long as everything isn't as sweet as that. What do you have planned?
No, I want it to be a surprise.
Well, can't you give me a hint? Maybe a little clue? Warn me a little bit?
Well, okay, there is a movie for this afternoon, but I'm not going to tell you which one it is. Although I will tell you that it's very romantic.
How come I knew it wasn't going to be a Western?
You making fun of me? Okay, forget it. I won't tell you anymore.
By the way, since you're planning everything, are you going to be paying for everything?
Huh? With the pittance I make at your club, no way, Jose.
Well, I've only got about $10 in my pocket, so is that going to cover it?
I don't think it's even going to cover lunch. You know, I heard this joke that I just know you're going to love.
Oh, boy.
Okay, you want to hear it? Okay, what is yellow, mushy, and very dangerous?
I don't know.
Shark-infested custard.
Shark-infested.
Dumb.
Samantha, that was dumb. Stupid.
Oh, cut it out. Hello, Samantha. Me?
Pat?
How's Paul coming along, Pat?
Oh, he's doing beautifully.
Good. Be able to come home soon from the hospital?
Today.
He's home right now, as a matter of fact.
Gee, no wonder you look so happy.
Yeah. Well, I am here to have lunch with Briggs somewhere.
Getting back to work? Life and business as usual.
It all does have to go on sooner or later, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Well, it was really nice seeing you. Have a good day.
Thank you, Pat. You too. So, where were we?
I really don't know.
Oh, I do. You're just about to break into uproarious laughter about the shark-infested custard. So go ahead. We can just pick up where we left off.
I really don't feel much like laughing right now.
Uh-huh. And you probably don't feel much like lunch or the movie or any of the wonderful plans that I have for today, eh?
Just give me a couple of minutes, all right?
No, I'll give you a couple minutes and I'll lose you completely. Come on, Tori. I don't want suddenly I'll just be sitting here and lose you and just have your depression. And then I'll bug you and you'll get mad and you'll storm out of here and, do you really want to go through that today?
No.
That's right. Then we're not going to let this just little chance encounter ruin our entire afternoon. Is that right?
Right.
Good. And smile.
I'm working on it.
Work harder then. Come on, I see it coming. You're smiling. Come on, just let it come out.
Sam, I'm sorry. I can't pretend to smile when I don't feel like it.
Tony, you were just smiling and laughing a couple minutes ago, and then your past walked in the door. Well, what? She is your past, isn't she?
Yeah. Kendall's home. She's happy. Yes, she is my past.
Okay. Now, I don't know anything about your future, but I'm certainly sitting here as your present, aren't I? So why don't you join me? Leave your past alone. Look at me, okay? Big boy? Talk to me. Think about me. If you don't, this drink is you're gonna be wearing it. You got it? Okay.
So it's all set. All you have to do when you're ready is push this button right here. I fixed it up as a remote control for recording.
Okay.
And when you're through recording, push the stop button.
Got it?
This'll rewind it for you, and this'll play it back. You got that?
Yes, I do.
Okay, now, whatever you do, don't push that button or you'll erase the tape. Unless, of course, you want to.
Oh, no, I promise you I will not push that button. You see, I would like to keep and cherish this tape for years and years.
Excuse me, Mrs. Lloyd.
Yes?
Dr. Jansen is here to see you.
Peter's here?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, show him in. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, thank you so much for everything. I hope you don't mind using this exit. And I will send you the check first thing in the morning.
Okay, Mrs. Vaughn.
Goodbye. Thank you again.
is a pleasant surprise.
Yeah, well, it's a surprise for me, too, believe me, Dorian. But I felt that I had to come and talk to you.
Well, please, sit down and let's talk away.
Thank you. Look, I spoke with Lynn today, and she said that when she saw you yesterday, she didn't come here with exactly the best attitude. Well, whatever. The point is that she's coming to see you today with an open mind and a genuine desire to work through whatever problems the two of you have with each other.
Well, nothing could make me happier.
Good. What I would like from you is for you to try to stay in present time as much as possible. I mean, deal with the here and now. And also accept the fact about the future, which is that Lynn and I are going to be married. And don't bring up anything about her past illness. It just upsets her, and it serves no purpose because it has nothing to do with either one of us now.
I couldn't agree with you more.
Good. Now, another thing.
Well, you certainly have a list of do's and don'ts today, don't you?
Yeah, I guess I do. I don't want you to lose your temper with her.
Well, I hope you told her not to lose her temper with me.
Both of you should try to be as rational and cool with each other as possible. But I want you to know something, Dorian. As much as I want to see the two of you get along together as sisters, I'm now to the point of thinking that if you can't deal with each other as mature, responsible adults, you shouldn't see each other at all.
Now, Peter, I agree with everything that you've said, so I'm sure there won't be any problem. Especially if Lynn comes with her open mind, as you said she would.
Good. She will. And your intention is going to be in this meeting to work through things, right?
Oh, yes. I have a wonderful feeling about today. I think we'll have a wonderful conversation, and I'm sure it'll be very important. As a matter of fact, it may change all of our relationships.
Hey, kid, what's wrong? Things can't be that bad, huh?
Marco, this is one time you don't know what you're talking about.
Well, what are you doing here anyhow? I thought you and Luke were supposed to be in some hotel somewhere.
Not anymore. I'm living here, and Luke's living in jail where he belongs.
Oh, really? What happened? Did you get caught bringing moonshine into the Blue Ridge, or what?
He beat up Richard and put him in the hospital.
What? How come nobody told me about this?
I don't know.
Well, I knew your old man was rough, but I didn't
Luke's
figure...
got his own set of rules he lives by. I don't think he's gonna change, unless prison changes him. Hey, Marco. You ever been in prison?
What, me? No. Have no intention of ever going there. Now tell me, what happened to Richard? Is he all right or what?
We think so, but we don't know. Do you think that prison's as awful as they say it is?
No, are you thinking about Luke?
That might be somebody about Richard.
Yeah, or Luke out on bail.
Who is it?
Go, Riley. Hello, Becky.
Hi.
Your sister's here.
Oh, yes, please, show her right in.
Yes, ma'am.
Melinda, oh, darling, how wonderful to see you. Hello, Dorian. Well, can I fix you a little drink? No, thanks. Oh, I can tell you're tense. Whenever you get formal, I know that you're very tense. Please, come and sit down. I want you to sit down and relax. Because I know we're going to have a wonderful heart-to-heart chat, just like we used to do. I think I'll make myself a drink.
Oh, Marco? Marco, Becky and I have some personal business to discuss. Would you mind, Marco?
Oh, no, not at all. Sure, maybe you can cheer her up.
Thank you, Marco.
Do you want to sit down?
Thank you. Becky, just come from seeing Abbott.
You saw Richard? How is it? What did he say?
He's weak, understandably. He's very concerned about you, Becky. So am I, after what he told me about your husband and your stepson.
He told you about Jesse?
That's right.
You know everything?
I know everything, Becky.
Well, I guess I don't have any choice then. Well, I mean, maybe it's better this way. I don't have to worry about it anymore.
What are you talking about, dear?
I guess I better call up Lieutenant Hall and turn myself in.
One Life to Live.
I've been trying to find out why you started drinking and why you hit me, and all I ever get from you is silence, and I can't forget that. I have to know why.
And on General Hospital.
I love him, and I want my freedom to marry him.
While blackmail is threatened by a jealous husband.
Knowing that I can use this if I want to?
One Life to Live, General Hospital. Every weekday on ABC.